Good evening, and welcome to the Clash of the Titans Reveal show. Hope everybody's excited to find out where we're fishing in 2 weeks. And so, looking at the Clash of the Titans, there were a couple things I had to deal with. So, looking at the places that we fished this year. Our first tournament was at Falls. Well, the same day as our Clash of the Titans, the KBT is having an event on Falls, so that kind of ruled out Falls. And since CKA did not have their event today and did not draw for where they are going to have their Tournament of Champions, I kind of had to take McIntosh out of the pot just in case they drew McIntosh. And so that left Harris, our May 6th event. It also left Tar River Reservoir, our June 10th event. It left the Raleigh Rumble, our July 15th event. I said that we would not do Jordan. And not only did we not do Falls because of the kayak, the team event, but also because we did the Clash of the Titans there last year. And Jordan is out because we've done Jordan before. And that also leaves Cape Fear and Heiko. And I've had a lot of people saying they would like to do the Clash on Cape Fear. And so that's very, very tempting. But before we even talk about what lake we're going to do it on, let's talk about who's qualified. So I hope you see my screen is presenting now. I hope. Let me do this and make it a little bigger. And I'm even going to zoom in just a little. It should look pretty good. So looking at our AOI standings, we have 5 anglers who were automatically qualified due to wins this season. So Hank, our AOI winner, won both Falls and McIntosh, so he gets to fish it twice. And Will Lambert won Tar River and Raleigh Rumble, so he gets to fish it twice. And then Jeremy Way won Jordan, so he's auto qualified. Paul Roberts is auto qualified for his Cape Fear win. He's also the most vocal person wanting to go back to Cape Fear. And Alex won our warm up event at the beginning of the year, so he is auto qualified. And what I do know so far is that Brent Barnes and Zach Stevenson cannot fish, so we're offering roll downs for those 2 positions. So with that said, we've got Garrett in 3rd place is qualified. Luke in 5th place is qualified. Robert Ebert in 7th. Ryan Galloway in 10th. Eric Combass in 11th. And then we've got 13 through 27 because of the 2 roll downs. So Chris Gearhart, Mike Wiggs, Storm Latos, Dwight Stevenson, Rick Morris, John Baxley, Peter Ely, Greg Dudley, James Smith, Damian Irvin, Frank Rosnos, Matt Dunn, Joey Sullivan, Eric Martin, and Jim Dennis. And so as I've communicated a couple times, and as I will continue to communicate, if you're not going to fish the Clash, please let me know as soon as possible. There's several people I have not heard from, and I will continue to reach out to them. I did reach out today to Jim Dennis. I sent Jim a text and a Facebook message letting him know that because we have 2 roll downs, he's invited to the Clash. I do want to talk about the structure of the Clash. Changed it a little bit this year. In the past, we've done the Clash like every other tournament, and it didn't have such good payouts because you're doing, $30 an angler and $5 a fish, big fish. So this year, I did up the entry fee to a flat $50. That includes um, uh, big fish, $10 big fish, and then $40 going to the tournament. In addition, CCKF will be covering the Tourney X fees. And basically, what that means is in the past, if we did a tournament, $5 from every angler went to Tourney X right off the bat. So, one thing I've done on this one is make it a true 100% payout tournament. And the club is covering the $5 per angler. And so, with that being said, out of the $50 entry fee, first place will pay out 44%. It's a strange number, I know. Second place, 24%. Third place, 12%. And big bass, 20%. So, what that really means is for a full field of 25, which would be the 5 automatic qualifiers and then 20 from the AOI, first place would pay $550, second place $300, third place $150, and big bass is $250. And doing that for a couple reasons. I want to make big bass worth it in this tournament. And at $5, and then not everybody signs up. It looked like big bass. Let's just say only 20 of 25 people signed up. Then big bass would have been $100. These are the titans. These are our top guys, and somebody's going to catch a big fish. So I want to make sure that that it's worth something. So as long as we get 25 anglers, big fish will be worth 250. Like I said, there's a couple guys I haven't really heard much from. There's a couple anglers that I haven't even heard anything from the last couple tournaments of the season. But because of their strong start, they still qualified. So I'm hoping they'll come, and I will reach out to them and let you know. So anyway, the Clash is up on Tourney X right now. It is not updated with the lakes. I'm announcing the lakes in just a few minutes, or the lake, I'm sorry. And it's not updated with the lake. And I'm going to be announcing that in a minute. And immediately after that, I will update the Tourney X. And then once I get the Tourney X location updated, I will then update the Facebook event with the location. Tourney X, you can view the tournament, but when you go to register, it's going to ask you for a password. If you were one of the original qualifiers, so everyone short of Jim Dennis, I have either included you in a Facebook chat in which we revealed the password, or I also texted one person. Jeremy, that was just a slip of the tongue. This is in the past, we've always done the Clash, one lake, and everybody launches from the same boat ramp. I think we did that at Falls last year. I know we definitely did that at Jordan, and that was the intent moving forward, to put everything on a level playing field. But anyway, I will get the Tourney X updated. I will get the Facebook event updated after we get done with this announcement. Jeremy, I did too. I very much liked the big launch at Heiko. The fact that there's only one boat ramp at Heiko lends itself to that, and then also the fact that it was late in the season and we had fewer anglers. Heiko just really worked well for that. And so I've been debating on the 2024 schedule what to do as far as should we go back to Heiko. I think everybody that came to Heiko enjoyed it. But But there's another couple of lakes that I want to get on the schedule, and it's Heiko. Pretty much, you have to fish it. You can't fish it between Memorial Day and Labor Day, right? It's just way too crowded there. And so I'm trying to work the schedule out in a way that we can fish Heiko next year. But before we get into Clash of the Titans, I'd like to discuss our 2024 schedule a little bit, along with at least one other announcement. So one thing I'm very excited to announce is that we have a new sponsor on board for next year. And I'm very, very happy to say that Cash and Fishing Rods has joined with CCKF to sponsor us next year. And we will have rods to give away at every tournament, to our AOI champion, and to our Clash of the Titans champion. So with that being said, I'm excited about that. I had worked and pitched them really hard to be a bigger sponsor. This is where they could be, but this is where they are with CKA, and this is where they are with Foothills. And to expect anything more from them would be unfair. And but I'm very, very happy that we can partner with them for next year. I am going to meet with some other potential sponsors here in the next couple weeks. I'm going to meet with them in person to discuss the trail, and look forward to handing out some cash and rods to you guys next year. And if for some reason you don't like cash and rods, I'll be happy to keep them. So I don't have any. I have a lot of cash and rods, daggone, whoever just said I was the best director is not logged in to the link, and all it says for me is Facebook user. And I really was going to have a special prize for anybody that said that, and now I don't even know who said it. So I hate it. But anyway, yeah, I'm talking to some new sponsors coming up, and hope to really have a much stronger sponsor package for next year. What I was going to say is I personally have a lot of Cash and Fishing Rods. I live about 2 miles from the shop, from their factory. I actually live much closer than that, but there's a six lane highway between me and them, and I can't walk there. So by taking the road, I'm much 2 miles away. So something else I was going to mention, and I forgot what it was. So anyway, let's talk about lakes for next year. So as you know, we're always going to fish Harris, Jordan, and Falls. That's we're a Triangle, North Carolina based club. Harris, Jordan, and Falls are always going to be on the schedule. But what we did do was we changed this past year. And previously we'd fished Harris twice, Jordan twice, Falls twice. And I think guys were, if I was just believe what people said, guys were getting tired of fishing those three lakes twice. So I've got some tentative dates thrown out there, but I've got to move Heiko around. And I'm sorry to traumatize you in that way, Eric Martin. And surely you saw me without a hat at when we were camping at Baden. Well, at least you saw me with the with that bag on my head and not a hat. So, I'm the dates. This is where I've got tentatively. I'm going to go ahead and tell you some dates. These are tentative, but it will change, I believe. Right now, kicking off March 9th at Harris. March 9th at Harris, early in the season. We'll have a good turnout. We always have really strong turnouts at the beginning. Next, March 23rd, we'll go to Jordan. Again, another one of our big lakes early. I'm trying to put some rationale behind where we go when. based on the amount of traffic. So March 9th, there'll be fishing traffic at Harris, but you won't have wakeboards and skiers. Hopefully, the water will still be a little cold. Same at Jordan on March 23rd. Looking right now, tentatively, at HICO on April 13th. Might flip that with either the Jordan or the Harris event. I don't think we'll do HICO as a kickoff. And I hate to do HICO too early because of how many people we have at early tournaments. But I'm saving a lake for late in the season, which is the reason I'm trying to do HICO in the spring. May 4th is going to be the Carolina Classic. This is the joint tournament between CCKF, CKA, and Foothills. Last year it was held, I think, at Hickory. I was not able to go. We had already planned our schedule when we got the date for that. So it was just an extra tournament that we encouraged everyone to go to. This year we're hosting it. So May 4th, we're going to host the Classic on Falls Lake. I have chosen Falls because if people are coming from Foothills and coming from far away, Falls has camping available, right? So the only two choices for that would be Jordan and Falls, and I chose Falls for the Carolina Classic on May 4th. June 8th, I'm looking at McIntosh. July 13th will be the Raleigh Rumble. One thing that got pointed out to me this week concerning the month of June, and I'm going to go to my messages here. Will Lambert pointed it out. In CCKF, from what was found, there have been a total of 5 bags turned in with CCKF over 100 inches. And if you look, in 2021, on July 17th, at Lake McIntosh, it was 104.75 inches. On July 16th of 2022, there was 101.75 inches turned in at Harris. One angler, one bag, just pointing that out. And this past year, Lake Wheeler, July 15th, 103.25 inches. July has really been the 100-inch bag for CCKF, and we're having the Raleigh Rumble on July 13th, and I'm expecting at least one 100-inch bag. We're just going to go ahead and say it now. There's going to be at least one 100-inch bag turned in for the Raleigh Rumble, so you better get your good baits tied on and be ready for that one. August 10th, new lake on the schedule. So this past year we went to Tar River Reservoir, and we went to Cape Fear. And Cape Fear was not a popular tournament, and Tar River, not a lot of people turned out for it, and it was a good drive. And I started thinking, if we're gonna have to drive somewhere, let's go somewhere that people have year after year suggested that we go. So August 10th of 2024, we're going to have a tournament on Lake Gaston. I've never personally been to Gaston, heard lots of good things about Gaston, but I've not been. So let's do it. Let's go to Gaston. And then Storm, I hope you're happy with this next one because he's mentioned this a lot. September 7th, we're going to go back to Lake Randleman. We've shied away from Randleman because 2 years ago we went to Randleman for our first tournament of the season, and we had 77 boats show up, and it was a train wreck. It was a train wreck. Of the 77, I think 70 launched at Southwest Park. It took an hour and a half to 2 hours for some people to get in the water because of the one boat ramp, and it just, at HICO, we had 30 guys show up to fish, 31 registered, 30 fished. And, Randleman can handle that. So next September 7th, let's go back to Randleman. There's been some bigs being pulled out of there now. Let's hope they're being pulled out there next year. And then September 14th, only 1 week after our last tournament, will be our Clash of the Titans next year. The CKA schedule, we definitely don't want to step on their events, and it would have been into November if we didn't do it the 14th. It would have been well over a month from Randleman to get to Clash of the Titans. So next year, Harris, Jordan, Heiko, Falls, McIntosh, the Raleigh Rumble, Lake Gaston, Randleman, and Clash of the Titans. And hoping by having Gaston and Randleman late in the season, we'll push those late season numbers back up. They always taper off. I think some guys realize that they're not going to be competitive in AOI. School starts back, different things. We lose some anglers, about midway through the year, it starts tapering off. So hopefully with this next year, we'll get it on. So I hope you guys are excited about next year. We'll publish the schedule soon, officially. I hope you're excited about our new sponsor, Cashin. I can't thank them enough for getting on board with us. Very, very happy. We've had a couple rod makers in the past, and that's been great. But to have a brand like Cashin, who is very, very supportive of kayak angling these days, to have them on board with us is exciting for me. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you're excited about Cashin. Hope you're excited about the next schedule. Hope you're excited about Clash of the Titans, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Y'all have a good night. Thanks. I wouldn't do that to you. Come on, Facebook user. I would not do that to you. So let's talk about Clash of the Titans and where we're going to fish or where you're going to fish. I did slip up a little while ago, and I said lakes, Jeremy. I said lakes. And when I drew the names, I drew out the Raleigh Rumble. So the Clash of the Titans, you get your choice of the same 5 lakes for the Raleigh Rumble. Launch and lines in will be at 7 a.m. We're going to fish 7 to 3 unless you fish Lake Crabtree. And Lake Crabtree will be a bit of a handicap because they don't open that early. I believe they don't open to 8. So if someone chooses Crabtree, they're going to lose an hour of fishing unless they're going to start at another lake and then move to Crabtree, and then they'll only lose the amount of time it takes them to move, which could potentially be an hour by the time you load up at one lake, get to Crabtree, launch, get back on the water. So yeah, let's do the Rumble again. Let's do it in the fall without the heat. Let's see what happens. And I'll announce a weigh-in location. It potentially could be it could potentially be Rally Point. It could be someplace else. I want to do something a little better because I'm really hoping that I hope everybody that participates will come to the weigh-in. It will be a blind tournament. There will be no leaderboard shown throughout the day. That is somewhat controversial with some of our guys, but it's going to promote a couple things. One, there's no need to not turn in any fish. I can understand if you don't turn in fish because you're fishing really hard and you don't want to take the time at that moment, especially if you're really on them. But if you get to a slow spot, at least you'll get the chance to go ahead and turn your fish in. The other thing I do want to say is at the weigh-in of Clash of the Titans, I'd like everybody to be there because that's when we're going to kind of present our top 3 of AOI. I mean, we know who they are, but let's bring them up in front of everybody. Let's give them a good, a round of applause. Hey, maybe even we hand them a check. Let's see what happens. But just really hope everybody will show up for the weigh-in. I'm going to make it someplace good. There's nothing wrong with Rally Point. I just need to. I have not touched base with them to see what we could do there. I think it's a good meetup for Raleigh Rumble because it's definitely in the middle, kind of equidistant from all our lakes. I mean, some are a little closer, but it doesn't favor one end of the county to the other. Um, so this will get posted, but the bodies of water again are Lake Wheeler, Lake Raleigh, Lake Johnson, Crabtree, and Beaver Dam, and all of those it looks like open at 7 a.m. Except for Crabtree. So we'll fish from 7 to 3, lines out at 3, photos uploaded by 3:30, and let's have the weigh in around 4:15 um, at whatever location we have it, which will be announced. Uh, Looking forward to it. I think this will be an exciting way to have the clash. It gives you an option if you start somewhere and you've got no love whatsoever where you started, you can switch lakes. Um, I'll be interested to see who goes back to the same lake they fished in July and who goes somewhere else. Um, but we had good numbers. If you look back at the stats that I posted after after the Rumble, it really average length per angler was pretty daggone even. The only reason one lake had more inches than another is because there were more anglers there. Um, so I think it's going to be interesting. I definitely do. Hope you guys are excited about it. And uh, yeah, let's. It has, but not by a whole lot, Jeremy. I mean, it had like. If you look at the top five, it was diversified, right? Whoever was not, there were people that didn't fish Wheeler that had a chance of winning. If you want to, let's just say the top five have to fish a different lake than they fished it at Rumble. We could make a rule like that. Um, yeah. All right. So appreciate you guys watching this. Appreciate all you guys fishing this year. We've had a good season. I've had fun. Hope you guys have had fun. I'm excited about next year. I got a lot to do between now and in March when we kick it off. Got to get on the ball with some sponsors. If you guys have any suggestions at all of potential sponsors, please let me know. I'd love to talk to them. And I'm not talking about necessarily fishing industry sponsors either. I'd like to get some non-endemic sponsors, realty, whatever, home inspections. I'm just trying to think of some that I've seen, but they don't have to be fishing sponsors. We've got a strong group of people around the Raleigh area, and we could provide some good uh, advertising to someone in that area that has a business, especially someone with a small business that would be willing to offer something to our guys. So, and I don't mean something to give away. I mean in the realm of discounts or something like that. So, whoever said let's get Bass Pro on, I'd love to do that. One of the Carolina Waters owners is now a sales manager at Bass Pro, and I've already kind of like, hey, what does it take to get Bass Pro to sponsor something? So even if it's just little gift cards or something, it'd be great to have them on board. Good thought, Jeremy. Play it again, sports. We definitely. I'm gonna write that down, and I'll definitely hit them up. So with that, hope everybody has a good night. I definitely rambled on a little longer than I thought I would, but I wanted to stretch it out before we announce where it was. Hope you guys get excited about it. Hope you fish well. We'll have an angler meeting before, and we'll talk to you soon. Everybody have a good night.